Good morning, my little children of the corn. It's Vicky and Wanda. You guys just don't know how much I love Wanda. She just makes me smile whenever I look at her. Anyway, it's Wanda and I. We've made a couple of layouts and I wanted to share them with you. Let's get started. Oh, before we get started, listen, it's about 7:15 a.m. I live on a street that gets kind of busy at rush hours. People coming and going to work, so hopefully that doesn't get too noisy. Yeah, I'm sitting here having my coffee. Look, Jill, coffee. I think it was Jan, who is Poke Fan 2001, which is the mother of Wanda. Jan sent me Wanda and her brother, which I don't use. And she sent me two because she said, in case anything happens to this one, I'll have a backup. But what Jan don't know is if I have to get in this house to save one thing or one person, it's going to be Wanda. God forbid that should ever happen. I'm just teasing, and you know what? That wasn't even funny. Anyway, oh gosh, now I got the hiccups. Anyway, it is morning. I'm having my coffee, Wanda and I think it was Jan who said her husband likes the strongest coffee in the world. Listen, he must be my long-lost brother, because let me tell you something. I'm a simple, low-maintenance woman, believe that or not. I love a strong pot of coffee, okay? And I like it black. I don't like creamers. I don't like flavored coffees. Oh, they're okay. But to me, a flavored coffee is not a coffee. I'm sorry, guys. You know, I'm not of the Starbucks generation. Although I do like Starbucks generation. But to me, Starbucks is like hot cocoa. It's not something you have every morning. Anyway, Jan was saying her husband likes it really strong. Please never tell my husband I do this, but I drink my coffee so strong that I can run another half pot of coffee or water through the coffee maker and give it to my husband, and he says, gosh, this coffee's strong. Yeah, I do that. I mean, you know, listen, coffee's not cheap these days, and he's no worse for the wear. I get up early. Now, he'll sleep in for a couple of hours. So, in about an hour and a half after I've made my half pot of coffee, I go in and run another half pot of water through the coffee. Listen, he's been drinking this stuff for 22 years. He can't tell the difference. And will complain about it being too strong. Yes. Listen, gals, I gotta pinch pennies somewhere because I got scrapbook stuff to buy. Anyway, I like a mean black cup of coffee. Look at it. It looks like tar. What do they call it? What do they say on the Beverly Hillbillies? Black gold. But anyway, I like Folgers Classic Roast. Give me Folgers and I'm good. Okay, let's get to the layouts. I'm working on my home and house scrapbook album. If you've watched my videos, I want to do an album with just bits and pieces from our two homes that we've lived in. We used to live in an apartment when we first moved in together. Yes, gals, we moved in together before we got married. I had to, you know, would you buy a car without test driving it, if you know what I mean? But we lived in an apartment for about a year while we were saving for a home, and I don't think I really have any pictures of the apartment. Silly me, but that was 20-something years ago. Anyway, this is our current home, and this is a layout of one of my favorite umbrellas for a patio table ever. Can I explain the gaudy umbrella? And you know I am. I'm going to explain it whether you say yes or no. So here's the story. When we bought this house, It's a wonderful, beautiful house, but it needed love. The people who owned it before us, any updates they did, they took the cheap way out. I don't know. They didn't have very good taste. They didn't take care of things well. So when we moved in, if I could have had maybe 20,000 fluid available dollars, I could have put everything into order around here the way I like it. Needless to say, I did not have $20,000 to just blow on stuff. Well, to spend all at one time after buying a new home. So, it's been kind of a constant repair job going on around here. One of the things when we bought this house that bothered me most was the fence around our pool. I mean, it was shabby when we bought this house, but where we live, I tell you what, we get the strongest winds. It's like Oklahoma, where the winds come, you know, that story. And those winds have beat our pool fence to death. So we finally decided to sink almost $2,000 into this fence to replace it this year. And listen, guys, that's with my husband and son putting the fence up. I wouldn't even want to know what it would have cost to have had somebody do it. And that's using wood. If it was my choice, we would have had that plastic fence that you never have to paint and you never have to replace, and it's great, but boy, that would have cost us $5,000. So anyway, we are replacing it this year. These pictures are from 2 summers ago. Now, we had Hurricane Eli come up into the Ohio Valley, and we had 80, 90 mile an hour winds, and it really took a toll on that fence a couple years ago. So I figured, okay, this fence looks so tacky, why not go with a tacky decor, right? I mean, you're not going to have a $2,000 patio set when the planks are falling out of your fence. Do you see my pattern here? My husband would get so mad because he was like, it's not that tacky, Vicky. And I was like, no, really, it is that tacky. It's not just me. So anyway, I was at Big Lots, and I found this swanky grass umbrella. Oh my gosh, how I love that umbrella. Anyway, here's the story. The title of the layout is called The Umbrella That Got Away. I'll tell you more about this umbrella story in a moment. The paper is Amy Tangerine Sketchbook. This, and I'm going to zoom in, this splattered paint is already on the paper. I mean, now that's perfect splattering. I can never do that. The thickers are iguana. I'm loving the iguana font, and it's blue. And then this is Sassafras Lass stickers, and this is like a lime green. It's a little sparkly, you'll see, but not too bad. I love those stickers. This came from the Amy Tangerine little note tags that I picked up at Joann a couple of weeks ago. This is a recollection brad. Here are all my scraps from the Amy Tangerine sketchbook collection. I doodled around the pictures with my white Signo Uniball gel pen, and if you've ever wondered if you could write on a glossy picture with your Uniball pen, you can. I think that's it. Yup. I outlined the little fishtail banners. Let me zoom in, then I'll tell you a little bit more about the umbrella that got away. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have heard that Michael's, I believe, I'm not sure about that. It might be Michael's, it might be Joanne, is carrying a paper stack that has the Amy Tangerine sketchbook collection in it. It has just about all the same papers that you would have paid 80 to 90 to a dollar a piece for when it first came out at, your local scrapbook stores and so forth, but it's in a pad. Now see how I doodled around this picture? Look, I know my patio lights are tacky too, but I actually had to fix them because when I took the picture, I guess they'd fallen down a little bit. All of those little fish tail pennants I hand cut and are from the collection. Loving this font, iguana, and I love the color. Could it match any better, really? You know I'm one of the matchy-matchy people. Okay. Now, so here's the story of the umbrella that got away. How about if I read you my journaling? When Harrison has a storm, we have a storm. One storm in particular whooshed my awesome neon green grassy umbrella all the way from our house up the road to Mike's house. Even though it was a bad storm, his wife grabbed it and brought it back during the storm. We may have bad storms, but we have great neighbors. Now, here it is, one of those big, bad, windy storms is whipping up. It's just starting to sprinkle, but the winds are blowing and it looks bad. And I hear knock, knock, knock at my front door. Here, it's my neighbor. And she has my green, grassy umbrella in her hands. And I was like, what are you doing? And she goes, Vicky, this was blowing all the way up the road. Now, the houses on one side of the road are kind of separated from us, so it's not like she was right next door. She wasn't 3 miles away either, but I thought it was so sweet for her to run out and grab my umbrella. Apparently the wind got under it and just pulled it up and blew it all the way up the street. Now listen, I paid $25 for that at Big Lots. Oh, I loved that umbrella. What ended up happening is all of this stuff, this green grassy stuff, started to come out, and then it would blow into the pool, and then it would get in the filter. And my husband was like, okay, time for the hula skirt umbrella to go in the garbage. And that was a sad day. I don't think it lasted one season around the pool. But listen, when my neighbor brought it back, I was like, oh my God, thank God you grabbed this for me, because I couldn't replace it. I was like, how did you know it was ours? And she just kind of looked at me, and I was like, okay, yeah, we got a laugh out of that. But as you can see, it kind of sticks up over the fence a little bit, so I guess everybody driving by could see my tacky green umbrella. But I figured, you know what? The fence is tacky. Why not go with tacky decor throughout? And that's the story of the umbrella that got away. On to the next layout. Okay guys, the next is also just a single page layout. I love the look of pictures matted on black cardstock. And this is our backyard. If you notice, I use the smash label maker for these little letters. Shut the front door comes from Hero Arts Home stamp set. This came in one of those little tidbit sets of embellishments. I don't know who it was by though, guys. I'm sorry. The thickers over here, that's the jewelry box line, and they are like cardstock die cuts, not foam, but I love this font. I matted at most everything except this picture on black cardstock, and on this one it's reversed. The black cardstock is matted on the green and white polka dot paper. The polka dotted paper as well as the gingham paper all come from Michaels. They're Recollection 8.5 by 11 cardstock paper. Watch for that. They have it most of the time on sale. 4 for $10 or 4 for $12. It is our backyard. This also came from Michaels. It was in a 3-pack. It's very lightweight, so it stays on here easily. These stickers are from Doodlebug Ink. And I think that about says everything. My craft cardstock is World Win. W-I-N. I like this cardstock. You know, I'm kind of funny about craft cardstock, you know. This is pretty good. It's comparable to the Recollections 12 by 12 craft cardstock, which I rate very high on the scale. It's a Recollections, and Whirlwind is every bit as good as Basil, which is a lot more expensive. I do not like Joann's generic 12 by 12 craft cardstock. In fact, hate it. It gives me the creeps, the hebba-jibbas. If you watch my videos, I've rambled on about it before, but you could not give me the craft cardstock from Joann. Anyway, I think that explains everything. Oh, I picked up this Whirlwind cardstock at urbanpapercraft.com. Really like urbanpapercraft.com. Let's zoom in. Oh, that's good. You'll need tires this weekend. Guys, I do get my pictures developed at Walgreens.com. I use Fotility to create these smaller pictures here that you're seeing. They're like 2 by 3 inches. And Fotility allows me to stick to normal size photographs onto a 4 by 6 template, and then that way I get 2 of these smaller pictures on one 4 by 6 photograph, so I only pay like 8 to 12 cents for that photo. You cannot beat Walgreens.com photo service. It's been so long since I've ordered from anybody else. I mean, I couldn't tell you if it's great or not, but I'm happy with it. The only problem I have ever had with Walgreens.com photo service is sometimes the pictures come out dark, even though I have lightened them up myself using my photo editing software. The second thing about Walgreens.com, if you want to send your pictures over digitally and then pick them up in an hour or so at your nearest Walgreens, you can only have glossy prints. Now, I do like matte prints, and if you have them mail you your prints, you can get matte prints. But if you want the 1 hour developing, you can only get glossy. So, but you can't beat it. I tell you, they always have great sales. Even every now and then, they have free 8x10, free collage pictures, or photograph things, you know, sheets. Great deal. So you really can't beat it. And here's my last 12x12 for this video. I have some more layouts to share, so I'll wrap this one up and upload it, and then come back and do another video for you guys. This is another 12x12 layout. This cardstock is crepe paper storyteller. It looks like burlap. I love this paper. I even love the other side. Let me show it to you. See, hard decision. I wish I would have picked up about 4 pieces of this, because I love both sides of this paper. I believe these calendars here are from Simple Stories. Some are fresh. Oh my gosh, let me back up. This paper is from Simple Stories. Some are fresh, not crepe paper storyteller. Sorry guys. This frame is from crepe paper storyteller line. I'm so sorry. This is definitely Simple Stories. Some are fresh, as are these, and so is this. This is a piece of this paper on the back flipped over, and this is also Summer Fresh, Simple Stories. The photographs here, I actually can get 2 of these developed on one 4x6 photograph at Walgreens, like I was telling you before, and I just left the white border around it. And this is Storytellers, as I mentioned. You actually got 3 frames in this. I really loved these wood frames, and I need to order more because I've used all my frames now. And here, this little ticket and this little banner is Prima. Love them. This down here, this little tag is from Canvas Corp, I think it's called. The bread is from Dear Lizzie Neapolitan. This background, or this label tag here that says the end, it came in this little craft labels tidbit package, and I could not tell you who makes it. I can't throw that away. Someday it might be back in style. Oh, that is so my husband's motto. That little label came from one of my October afternoon label pages. This little sticker, he was the kind of guy you could give half your closet to. This came from Cosmo Cricket. Love stickers. Good old, or some old rub-ons I had in my stash. Paw Paw is from Ficker's Doll Collection. And let me show you something. Here, see that frame on there? That was one. It was with this crepe paper frames, wood frames. Loved it. I'll share this card with you in my next video. I did some updating. I shared the card before, but I finally finished it, and I want to share it with you again. Anyway, the pictures are my husband. One day I was out by the pool taking pictures of the kids and the property, and poor old Paw Paw, he never gets a layout just about him. I mean, I did a layout on his homemade salsa. I have put together layouts about his great homegrown tomatoes, but good old Paw Paw just never gets a layout made. And This is all for him. Here you go, honey. Don't say I never did a layout for you. Oh, and listen, these are from Indie Chick. Those little banners. Love these things. Let me zoom in. He was on his way to work, and I guess he pulled up by our garbage cans to clean out his car real quick, and he didn't even know I was back there snapping pictures for a while. Let me show you these embellishments. See the paper inside that frame? That's also Summer Fresh. And there, he still doesn't know I'm there. And then I start laughing, and he could hear me. And he posed. I'm a lucky woman. I like this layout. I just don't know whether to put it in our 2000, is this 2000? Yeah, 2011 album or in our home album. Okay guys, I hope you'll come back. I'm going to do another video with more layouts. If you have any questions, you know my motto. You know where me and Wanda are. All you have to do is ask. And I'll see y'all soon. Thanks for watching.